Right. So good evening, everyone. I'll share my screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Abimbola Olaide. So I'm one of the QA in Blue Sky. And for today's topic, will be just a very simple topic. Is just understanding Playwright Inspector and how to use it. And this concept, you can use it in any language, be it Java, be it um, JavaScript, be it C sharp, but it's going to be more focused on C sharp because that's what most of us use in Blue Sky. So, in case you are automating another language or you're interested in learning Playwright in respect to Java or JavaScript, then this is also applicable to you. All right. So the first thing is understanding the pause method in C sharp. So the pause method is actually one of the method, or the pause is actually one of the method in C sharp in Playwright. So it's more of a Playwright stuff than compared to other framework. So it's help in debugging and it also help to suspend the test execution and open the Playwright Inspector and help you to interact with the page before continuing the page. So in a nutshell, it's just for debugging. So the main purpose of the pause keyword is actually for debugging. And in C sharp, the method is called pause async. In Java, they have their own, and while in JavaScript or TypeScript, it is called pause. So and they do the same thing. So the pause async is just a conventional way of saying, okay, this should pause in C sharp because C sharp is actually a conventional language compared to most languages out there. So that's why it is pause async. But generally, it is just called pause and it is used for, it's just to ensure that the page wait and you can do some interaction, such as getting element or interacting with a particular element. So why should one use it or why would you be interested in using it? So one of the first reason is to debug flaky or failing test. So sometimes where our tests may fail because of unknown reason and we may like okay the error message may not be helping but it will keep pointing us to a particular line. So you know what we can always start from that line that is pointing to. So this the error message being very useless is actually not a C sharp thing, it's more of a JavaScript thing. So a lot of like unnecessary messages just keep pouring in the console and you'll be wondering that okay, how can I go about debugging it? So one way is to use the pause or the pause async keyword. So or method. Then another one is if you want to explore and discover stable selector. So in the world of Playwright, our selector are a little bit different compared to Selenium or Cypress, right? So where we can't just take in any elements, we have to make sure that our element is unique. It is actually Playwright suitable because of Playwright's rules, so that you can have a very less flaky test. No test framework is 100%, so you can have a less flaky test compared to Selenium and other framework out there. So but in order for you to get your selectors, Playwright, the creator of Playwright, that's Microsoft, actually ensure that you can use the post async to actually get our selectors very easily, and I'll show you how to do it in the practical section. So another reason why you may want to use it is because of the interactive record playwright code. So one of the properties of automation, though is a bad way of automating your code, is actually the recording method. So the recording method is good when you don't really have a large test. You don't really have large tests. So what I mean by that is you could record your test step by step and it's going to work fine with the help of Playwright. So it's only used for easy tests and it's only used for tests where you just want to quickly debug and get started with your test, but shouldn't be used in professional settings. So So that's the main reason. So you may want to record your test, but we'll talk about architecture later on Playwright architecture. Then, if you want to learn some specific Playwright API by trying them live, so some specific Playwright API, like how you can, sorry, how you can turn pages to PDF, how you can download your report, maybe. So you can use it when you pause the method. You can see what you can do with Playwright, because Playwright is an advanced tool. So in the Playwright Inspector UI, there is some in the window has some um toolbar. For instance, the Action Explorer to see the test step, the Locator Picker where you can select elements or you can highlight elements, then the Code Gen panel. So this is where your auto-generated playwright code comes into place. So this is the use case. So it has its own window where you can see it. Not really a window, but once you see what I'm talking about, it's more like a place where the code you are clicking on is being generated. Then you can see Playwright console and you can also resume or pause your test. So this is very important. This is where I'll be focusing more on, where you can resume and pause your test. So I'll be focusing more on the locator and the resume button, resume and pause button. But I'll try as much as possible to touch on everything, but my focus is just going to be on the locator picking and the resume button. Then we'll talk about why it can be a bad idea to be using this code gen. So that more on that later on. So now, so this is how the Playwright Inspector will look like. So this is Playwright's website, and so you have your recording. So your test that is being recorded is going to be here, right? Then you have the copy to copy your selector or whatever. This is the pause, this is the play button, and this is the pause button, right? So this is just part of the window. So now you may be wondering, okay, I called it is used for test debugging. In How does it differ from C# debugger? So in traditional method, for instance in Selenium, where we don't have access to the pause keyword like how we do in Playwright, we need a way for us to actually debug, and that is by using the debugger.break, which is equivalent to like adding our breakpoint. So what this does is actually to stop the C# code in the stop the .NET code execution in Visual Studio. So you don't run your tests, you don't run. That means everything stop. The whole process actually stop, and it's not really a good idea because it can actually like maybe suddenly just stop itself, or suddenly it can just break without any reason, because the debugger is not really stable. But the page.pause async actually stop the playwright itself. So it targets playwright, not the code, and let you interact with browser and selector. So this the first advantage is that sorry. The first advantage is actually it stops the playwright test flow, and two, you can interact with browser and selector, so you can get as many selectors as possible. So those that are finding it difficult to actually understand how playwright selector works, so this too is very very important for you to get how playwright selector work. And but in the long run, you will see that you can always customize it to your taste anyway. And the pause is actually designed specifically for UI automation debugging. So even if you have access to breakpoint and everything in C sharp, the recommended way for you to debug your test is actually using the page.pause async. Right. So for the best practice, so it is designed for UI automation debugging. It should be used in development debugging alone. Then it can be used to record selector and copy generated code, but more on the generated code later on. Then don't keep it in production. And it is not, last point I want to make now, it is not the replacement for wait. So a lot of people, I've seen in some people code, they actually use the pause as equivalent to wait, or maybe they forgot to remove it. So though your pause and your wait can do the same thing, meaning that they can wait for the test flow, the test to pause for some while, but the pause is not actually intended for you to for the it's not really the equivalent of the wait. The wait is just for it to wait for some milliseconds, maybe for the page to load, for the DOM to load, for the network request before interacting it with the website or web page. Meanwhile, the page.pos is just used for the selector and if you want to generate code. So um I'll stop sharing my screen now. Right. So someone will share their screen for the practical. Can you please share your screen? Anyone please share their screen, please? So I'll just go on with the practical. Please. Anyone? Can anyone please share their screen? Can you all hear me, please? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, please can anyone share their screen? Any playwrights? Just playwrights. Yeah. Based on what Mr. Deji actually taught you in last class. So it's nothing new. I just want to explain the
Can
concept of the page.pos and how it differs from
you
the
see my screen?
debugger. That's all.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Right. Okay.
So what do I do next?
Right. So I want you to run your test. Right. Just run it generally. Because I can see some purple. It seems you've not defined your steps.
I will definitely with this for some days now. I think he has finished running, so most of them fail.
Alright. Can you just open the login of feature, please? Can you expand the login of feature? Can you expand the login of feature test in your text explorer window? Just expand it. Yeah. Where there's arrow, just click on the arrow. Click on the invalid. I just double click on the invalid again. Seems so. Click on the valid user login successfully. Can you click on the valid user login successfully, please? Just right click on it and open test log. Open test log. Well, can you click on the line 14, please? Just click on it. Given I navigate to the login page on line 14, can you click on it?
No, hold on, hold on. This session is not to fix issues. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
I don't know, someone else should share their screen.
so
No one is sharing their screen. That's why I was just like,
so
Let me
this
share. Let me share.
yeah, this is to talk about the debugging part and also the record and place, not to fix issues. So we can look into that later anyway.
please make sure your test is passed before you share your screen. And just run one of the valid login successfully, please. Just run the valid login.
Sorry, do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Do you see when it run?
No.
I have to
You need to
share
share your
down.
full screen. Yeah.
What is this? Sorry, can you see it now?
No.
Uh,
I'm not sharing your full screen.
okay. Let me stop screen sharing. Full screen, full screen, full screen, where's full screen? Entire.
Okay.
Is it up now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go to the feature that actually passed, or that just passed right now. Valid user login successfully. As in
Where do you want me to go to?
the feature, the one that just passed right now, I think that is the number 3, right?
The number.
That's line 3, or line 4,
Okay.
right? So so can you go, this, and I click on the login button. Can you click on F12 when you click on the, and I click on the login button on line 6 and click on F12?
Line 6.
Yes, and click on F12. You need to focus on it. Yeah, that's it. So now let's say this is what you have, right? So in order to, for us to bring out the playwright selector immediately after you click on the button, what we could do is underneath line 83, that's, you create a new line underneath line 83. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
You will create a new line underneath 83.
83.
Yeah. Create a new line just underneath 83. Underneath. Below 83. No, not above, below. Now it is 84. Immediately after you click, you need to create a new line immediately after you click. That's on line 84. Yes. So you type await space underscore page dots pause async, capital letter P for the pause. Yeah. You can click on tab again, tab again, tab again.
Hello.
Yeah. So you can try to run again. You can run your test again. So I don't know. Can you move this screen to the center, please? The
Which
other
one?
this window that your mouse is currently on. Can you move it to the center, please? Can't see it. It's cut. Yeah, let's move it to the center of your screen. So this is the Playwright window, and you can see this is record. So the first is record, then the next one is
Pause.
the first one. The first toolbar. Please, can you highlight on the first toolbar?
Okay.
The first one,
Have
record.
record.
The next one is to select a selector. So to pick a locator or selector,
Okay.
right? And the next one that is don't ignore those ones that actually ignore them for the meantime that are disabled. So the next one now is actually copy, right? The next one, the one that is like a file,
Like a what?
like a file, like two files together. That's copy.
Copy. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Then the next one is the play.
Yeah. So resume.
That is the resume. So this is, for instance, if we were to resume the test now, we'll click on the resume. Then the next one is pause, right? So this is to pause our test. Then the next one is step over. So for instance, now we'll start backwards. Okay. So if we want to move on to the next step, we are going to click on step over. Right. So click on step over, please. So please click on step over.
Again.
Yeah, click on step over again. So as you can see, it is taking our page one by one. So the first one is that is trying this validation. So it's trying to get the locator, right? The next one is actually to get the actual text. As you can see, it is taking it line by line, just like how our debugger would have done it in if we're using Selenium, where it goes line by line, right? But you don't have the unnecessary details of the C# debugger, but rather you are more focused on the test. So it's why it's one of the main reasons why it's recommended. So there is no need for additional variables that you don't really need. You can see that okay, this is you're focusing on your test. There's no need for page context and everything that you don't need. But it may also be a shortcoming because you may actually need those value later on. But as you can see, it is more focused on your test and there's no need for additional value as you are stepping over. So can you step over, please? Now we finish the end of the test. So that is how the step over works. So you go line by line, right? For each of your step that is defined in your step definition. You go line by line. So for instance, if the what we have currently have on line 85 is before line 84, right? It's going to stop before we click the login button. Then after we step over, we are going to click on the login. So can you please move what you currently have on line 85? Can you move it to line 84, please? Can you just cut it to line 84?
You can just copy and anyway, so that yeah, okay, that's fine.
And please, can you run your test again? No. So as you can see, the pause actually came before it clicked on the button. Can you move it to the right, please? Sorry, to the left, I meant. Can you move it to the center of the screen, the window? Right. So this, as you can see, it's paused before it actually clicked the login.
Login button.
Yeah. So that is how the pause works. So that's one of the advantages of pause. So you can, okay, more on the selector later. So you can step over now. You can click on the step over. As you can see, this is what's going on in the background. So you can see in the log. So this is another function of it. So you can say, okay, this is the action you're actually trying to take. It's waiting for the locator to be visible. Then locator has been resolved. Then attempting click, and as you can see, the log is very, very readable compared to what you have in your traditional debugger. Then can you step over, please? So now it has found the locator. That's the first
Yeah.
step. Sorry. Can you please rerun the debug again? Seems you close the window. Can you please rerun it again, please?
Okay.
You close the window. The window closed. No. Right. Can you step over, please? So step over again. I see the page is loading. Then step over. So, like everything, it's continues your test, but it's just line by line. So you can click on step over. Okay. So this has finished. So now the next one we're going to be moving to the pause and the play, or pause and resume. Can you run your debugger? Can you run the test again, please? Right, can you move to the right? Left, please. Can you move to, yeah, thank you. So now, if you are to click on the play button, it is going to be very, very fast. Okay. So
Okay.
we may not be able to capture anything, but can you click on it? So the play button is actually just used to resume, or like I said, resume anytime you put a pause. Okay. So it's going to continue the normal playwright, very, very fast execution. So you can you click on the pause? Can you click on the resume, please?
Resume.
Yes, please. So it's just like your normal resume. Click on the resume. Yeah. Click on the pause. And click,
No time.
yeah. So that's it's just your normal resume. So there's nothing really difficult. It's just for you to continue the normal execution of the test.
Mm.
So can you run the test again, please?
Sorry, you can put the pause. Let's put the pause at the beginning of
Yeah.
the.
Can you put the pause at the ending of 85, please?
No, no, at the beginning of the steps, actually, of the future steps, so that at least you see even before you navigate anyway. So,
Okay. We will
mm.
do that next. Right. So the pause, once you click on the play, right, and you have a long text, you can be opportune to click on the pause. Once you click on the resume, so that's how the resume and the pause work. So it's just like, can you click on it? Can you click on the pause? So
So
anyway, let's just create a new feature called pause. It's a new feature, so we'll create a new line in this current feature, and just for demonstration, so you can delete it later on. So can you go to the feature, please? So on line 3,
line 3.
yeah, on line 3,
That's the scenario.
after line 3, you create this one. You create a new line after line 3. So just put that, you know, like maybe
What?
giving a pause. I don't know anything. I just want to put pause, so you won't. Yeah, just for pausing. Capital letter G. If you want to use given.
Given I.
Maybe pause. Maybe pause for debugging. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking that you can just put it inside the step definition without, but that's okay anyway. Yeah.
Right. So can you create a new feature for it? So a new step definition for it. Right. So online 21, right?
21.
Oh, I see what you've done there. Based on how you created your step, right?
Okay.
So it's not time for refactoring. So don't worry. You please delete what you currently have? That line, can you please delete it?
The step.
The step that you just defined, can you please delete it? Yeah, just delete it and we'll delete it in the feature file.
What's the problem?
Yeah, because of the way he defined his step, he did not use like a constructor and or it's not time for refactoring. So yeah, delete line 4. So we'll just put this in given I navigate to the login page
But that
because
should still work, isn't it?
it's
It's the
going to throw
same.
an exception because you've not initialized the page with and you want to use it. He initialized this page in the and I navigate to the login page.
Okay, let's see.
Right. So go to the step definition, the login register step definition. Please. So before you go to the page, right, on line 26, you can put on line 26, right? Before you go to the website,
Okay.
then you can put the underscore page dot post async. Await underscore page dot post async.
Okay, I got what you mean. Okay.
Now page dot post async. Open and close brackets, then semicolon. Right. So let's run it then. Right. So you can see the burger is actually up before we even navigate to the web page. So can we step over, please? Can you click on the step over? So we'll go to the page. Step over again. Right. So as you can see, if you read the console navigating to now, this is what you are going to click, right? So as you can see, it's even highlighting, okay, this is what your selector is resolving to, but now is not the time for. So now we're going to be focusing more on the selector. So you can you click on the selector, please. So we talked about the play and the step over. Can you click on the selector, please? The selector is the one before the record. Pick selector is the one before the record. We've closed it.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you please run it again?
Please, can I ask a question why that one is running?
Yes, please go on.
What are you trying to achieve moving the pause around? I just want to understand. What
What I'm
is
trying to achieve, I'm just trying to explain how it works and how you can use it to debug your test. Though it does not really seem useful now, but once you start having over 100 tests, having complex tests, then you would appreciate why Playwright actually put it in there. So is like I said, it may not really feel useful now, but it's just for you to navigate, it's just for me to show you how to navigate the Playwright um some Playwright features anyway. So now, so we currently want to focus more on the pick selector, on how you can, like for instance, the selector now, how we can update the selector and how, because this page actually help us to pick selector, like not just any selector, but proper Playwright selector that can be reused. So can you step over, please, so you can navigate to the page? Step over again. So now, not record, after record, like a mouse. Yes, step over. So this is pick locator. Now look at the current locator you have, which is a little bit too long,
Yeah.
as you can see. So it is not really, so if you are going to be going to in the industry like this, to be like, "Ah, who taught you how to pick your selector?" Because if you are alone, no one is going to care about it. But if you're going to be working with company where you have senior, junior, and maybe you are the mid level, a lot of people will be like, "Ah, why are you?" I don't know why I keep feeling. But so we're just trying to update your selector. So it's just for the selector. For us to update the selector. Do recording now quickly. Step over, step over. Now click on it. Click on the pick locator. Click on it. Now click on the login slash register that you're about to click. That is currently red on your screen.
That's currently red.
Yeah, that is currently red. It shows that no, not there. Where is currently red? Like not the text that is red on your main browser, not the Playwright browser this time around. On the main browser, the login slash register. There's a red. Why does it keep? Well, sleep. Just bear with me.
And where do you say the red?
Look at your screen, your main screen. Forget about the Playwright console
Okay.
window right now. Look at, there's a red line that is showing your locator, right? Can you see it?
Is it on the
On
code?
the login slash register, there's a red,
No,
like
I
a
can't see
red
that.
On the
I won't see
demo,
that.
Blue Sky demo website.
on the main Chromium browser. You can't see it.
Gabriel,
I can't see it.
on the Blue Sky demo website on the background.
Okay, I think I'm going to be using maybe I'm going to share my screen at this point because we've spent a lot of time and we've not covered what we need to cover. So
Sorry, before you share your screen, but I want to ask a question. You created a shop file that you bind with step definition, and later on noticed that if you put this pause assign in the step definition you created, then it won't work. I want to ask why the reason why what did you see that say it won't work?
okay, what I saw was that it's not that it won't work, but the way he wrote his code, right? His code is actually a little bit tied here. So, for instance, if we were to put the feature file, the step I said you should create, the line I said you should create, if we were to put it before this and given I navigate to the login page, right, it is going to fail because it's going to be initial. It's not We're not going to get initialize the playwright. So we could try it now. So we're going to have like an exception. I've forgotten the name of the exception, but we're going to be getting an exception. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So because you've not initialized it by the time you plan on using it, that is why it's going to fail.
Okay.
So how do we initialize it? Because these are the major issues that we most of us face, on our features. So how do we initialize it? Can you just take us through it?
All right. This is not. Anyway, let me first finish this and then
No,
come back on
that's
it.
not. Yeah, all these kind of factoring one anyway. So and yeah, so which will take a while for in terms of refactoring. So I think we'll still have another session, right? So if you can put all the questions down, send it to Rita, right? So that we can schedule one. Otherwise, we'll just go on different part, and we'll never do what we need to do. This session is basically we've not actually done what I want you to do.
Yeah.
One is how to do record and play so that because with Playwright, in fact, I think some people are even still struggling with the code, right? So, and maybe that's another thing you're talking about in terms of how to refer to the code. But how can I, even if I don't have experience writing the code, how can Playwright generate the code for me where I can just put, or I've started creating the code now. If I need to expand it and I don't know what to do, can Playwright create a code for me as well? So we need to get to that point anyway, but it's good that we are going slowly. So, and if you're not able to finish it in half an hour, we would then pick it up next week, right? Because that is really important. Ability for Playwright to generate the code automatically, right? When you do record and play. So that will be the focus, yeah.
I think the main issue is that I don't understand why his Chrome does keep stopping, and I don't know. But I can share my screen and I think that should work.
Yeah, it's okay.
But
Let's
it is not C#.
Yeah, that's fine. It's the same process anyway, so we can come back anyway. So
Yeah,
to
come back
that.
and come on. Okay. Can I see my screen now? Can you see my screen? So this is this is just a new C# new Playwright using TypeScript. So that is why you have the .ts file. So I'm going to run it. So the main point is that in C#, let me just explain the code. So this is the similar does like if you want to navigate to a website, this is the page.go to, just like how you have it in C#. I think you have the go to async. Similarly, if you want to pause, you do await page.pause, but the pause is pause async and expect similarly. So it's just this is just the expect is just for validation, and the goal to just open the web page, and this is our focus. Here's our focus, right? So I'll just run this one now. Oh boy. Sorry, just bear with me. Sorry, let me just stop sharing my screen. Just bear with me for some time. Um, so I just want to like open the browser, and I don't want to spend time. So I'm going to share my screen now. Anyway. Okay. So hope you can see my screen. Alright. So I'm going to run this one now. So I'm just edit the config. So now this is my Chromium, and this is the Playwright inspector, just like how we have it and how we have seen it in C#. Can everyone see my screen, please? Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, yes.
All right. So this is how we have it, right? So now, so this is the for the locator. So as you can see, once you click on the locator, you can highlight anything and you get your Playwright locator. And this locator is available everywhere. I mean, I say available. This locator is actually very useful, meaning that it is, as you can see, we have get by row into bracket link name community. Though there are ways that you can learn how to write them yourself, but as you can see, it's very easy for you to generate locator, and the locator here is short and precise, which is more professional compared to the long relative where you have div, greater than, less than, blah blah blah. So this is way precise and is the recommended way. So if you check the Playwright documentation, you see that this get by row page or get by row is actually the recommended way, right? So this is for the selector, because I want you to share your screen back for C#. So this is for the selector. So to click on to disable it, to enable it, disable, enable, disable, enable. But you want to disable it, right? And this is the step over, just like how we have it here. So now the main point I want to make here is the recording. Now I am recording everything I'm doing. So as you can see, for instance, let's say I've navigated to the Playwright website. Then I click on get started. Look at here, my test now is telling me that I have clicked on the get started, right? Now I click on how to install, right? So as you can see, our step is being generated line by line as I have clicking. So it is recording what I am doing right now. So I can also click on how to install Playwright. It's telling me that I should use this one. So how to install Playwright. I just clicked on the same thing. So I can click on yarn. So this is the locator that I generated, right? So And I can come here and also, you know what, let me click on this locator and I can see my locator over here. As you can see, it gave us two different locator, right? But this is more precise and shorter, okay? And this is a little bit long and it has unnecessary names. So this is one way of doing it, but the main focus is not actually Playwright locator. So it's just for the recording. As you can see, the record is red. So I can also click on command line. So it's any time you see the red, it means that it's being recorded. So click on the command line. So it is clicking on the command line. Right. Clicking on the command line. Click on the execution. So after everything, right, I can copy it and come back and paste it here. You can see I have copied. So that's one of the use case of the copy. So I'm going to stop this test now. Now I want to run this. So you see that all the action I just did is going to be run. Sorry. I didn't copy the main URL. Sorry about that. So it was so fast, but let me actually create the. So I would debug it one after the other. So now, this is what I did. I click on the get started, right? Then I click on how to install Playwright. I click on how to install it again. I click on the yarn. I click on the command line and I click on the emulation. So this is how it works. And if you are wondering, oh, I'm using JavaScript or TypeScript. However, if you are to do it in C#, you're going to get a equivalent C# generated code. Okay, you won't be getting JavaScript related code because it's a little bit it's smart. It's not that it's going to give you the same code. So, and if you're also using Java, you're also going to get your Java equivalent code of this. So that is just it in a nutshell. So as you can see, it's a little bit easier to work with compared to Selenium. That's why a lot of companies are looking to migrate towards Playwright. So though Selenium is fixed and it's not going to change again, but Playwright, people are still adopting Playwright. So there are a lot of things that are not easy to go about in Playwright. But more on that later on. But hope this is clear. And in case anyone has any question, please let me know before we move back to the C# side of things. As you can see, we can record our text very easily, right? Stop recording. We could select our locator, right? We select our locator. We could copy. Maybe let's say we have something here or something. We could copy it. Okay. We could step over. That test has finished anyway, so that's why this step over. So we could do that. So anything we want to do is also equivalent to what we can do in C#. But this is not using the BDD in TypeScript. This is just a simple test just for you to see how it works generally. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Yeah, please go on. Gabriel, please go on.
Sorry, please can you have it the playback on that locator? I'm not that clear about the locator. How you use it to look to get a locator of a particular element on the.
Right. So I'll run this one again. So there is debug test, there is run test. Well, this is what we're going to be doing for the meantime. Run test. Okay. So now, as you can see, as we've run the test, so now to click on the locator, the first thing is this one, very close to the record, the locator picker, right? Then you click on get started. As you can see, this is our get started, similar to what we have here. Click on the get started link. The link name is get started, right? Though you can customize your locator, so this is how you just go about it. Then once you've clicked on the get started, okay, Then maybe you want to move on to the next locator, which is how to install Playwright. You can click on it. Then you can see it as updated how to install Playwright, and you can copy your locator. Maybe you need it, maybe I need it here. You can say get started. So I see this is what I've already done it already, so I'm going to remove it. So that is how it works.
Okay, thank you.
So I don't know if that helps, but that is how the locator works.
Yeah, I've gotten.
So on that again is, I don't know, generate test. So I see as record a test, generate locator. So you can generate locator and test using Playwright. As you can see, it's very easy to work with actually, but like I said, it's very hard to scale your automation with Playwright. Just click on this and let's see. Click on it. It appears here how to. Oh my god. Running on debugging test. So this is it. So you always get it here. Though the page may be missing because you may be using underscore page. So it gives you like a generic version that can work in Java, JavaScript, C Sharp, or Python. Yeah. So JavaScript or TypeScript, Python, Java, or C Sharp. So that's it. You can see it's pretty easy. So well, more on that later on. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and in case anyone has any question, let me know. All right. Do anyone has any question? If I move
So
on.
that's So I need you to create a Playwright automation script within your team. Right. So that should be available by 15th of October 2025. 15th of October, you should have finished that anyway. Yeah. Okay, Gabriel.
Good evening, Deji. My question is, the Playwright automation script, is it as a group or individually?
You will start as a group, I would say. Okay. Yeah. But you need to get involved, I would say. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much, Ola, for that session as well. Thanks. Yeah. All
Also,
right.
before you sign out, I'm just asking, is it the former group we are, like me and Gabriel and the fusion team, or the
No.
team?
So this is now your advanced group, right?
Yeah.
So you are going to be in SLS group, isn't it?
Okay. All right.
So within the SLNs, right, when we meet next week, Saturday, you need to talk about that. So you need to create your automation script within the time. So basically, every team needs to have the automation script testing a part of the application that they've been assigned to. That is the purpose. Okay.
Sorry, Deji. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is, as Ajishafe, you said Ajishafe is going to be in a SLN team now. Are we together or I'm having a different team?
So, okay, if you are just finishing your internship group,
Yeah.
everyone that's finishing the internship group is in the excellence team. That is the one that you join every Saturday within
Okay.
yeah. So that is, of course, that is if you registered for the advance. Some people have not paid, right? I'm only watching, looking at you in 3D images, right? So, and to be honest, I want everyone to be honest, right? So if the CRC guy said you've not paid and you've not actually paid, I don't even, to be honest, I'll just say bye-bye to you, actually. So I won't say pay or no pay because I just think that that particular person is not reliable yeah. So, yeah. So please, if you have not paid, ensure that you look into that. Look at your account and ensure that, yeah, have I paid for the service? Or for most especially the guys that have just joined anyway for the advance, right? So yeah. So but if you have paid and you're in advance, you should be in Team Excellence, right? Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Yeah.
I just have a question.
Okay, please.
So for us that are developer, do we seem to create the framework?
If you are the developer,
Yeah,
Are you not in any team?
I'm in a team. I'm the
yeah,
developer
in
of my team.
now. Yeah,